Step back, stay silent. They will beg you. Dark psychology tricks, Stoic life lessons. Welcome back to Win Stoic, your hub for powerful Stoic and dark psychology insights. Listen closely. You're here because you've had enough of chasing validation from people who don't even realize the value of your presence. Deep down, you feel it. It's time to flip the script. Time to reclaim your power and make them realize exactly what they've lost when you step back. Today's not just another day to skim through the usual self-improvement tips. No, today we're diving into a strategy that combines the timeless wisdom of Stoicism with the sharp edge of dark psychology. It's about silence, not as a retreat, but as a weapon, a tool to command respect and attention without uttering a single word. Here's the reality. In this fast-paced, noisy world, people crave what they can't have. When you give too much of yourself, you become background noise. But when you pull back, when you embrace the art of quiet detachment, you'll watch as they start to chase the echo of your absence. This isn't about playing games. It's about shifting the dynamic in your favor. Silence is more than golden. It's magnetic. And today we'll uncover how to wield it like a master. Let's transform your silence into the loudest statement you'll ever make. 1. The power of absence. The art of absence is one of the most underrated yet powerful strategies in both personal and professional relationships. Think about this. Why do people chase luxury items? It's not just their quality, it's their scarcity. When something isn't readily available, it becomes more desirable. The same principle applies to human connections. When you're constantly present, always explaining, and perpetually accessible, you lose an essential element of mystique. Familiarity breeds comfort, but it can also breed indifference. However, when you step back and embrace silence, you disrupt this dynamic. This shift makes people question, reflect, and ultimately crave what they now miss. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Choosing silence over noise and distance over constant engagement shifts the power dynamic in your favor. Imagine a scenario where you're always the one reaching out, checking in, and providing solutions. Over time, your effort becomes expected, even overlooked. But when you pull back, the sudden absence unsettles their routine. Like the sun disappearing behind clouds, your presence, once taken for granted, is now profoundly missed. People are wired to respond to change, and the unpredictability of your withdrawal forces them to reassess their assumptions about you. In today's fast-paced world, where notifications and instant replies dominate, silence has a way of amplifying your value. It forces others to step into the void, seeking answers and reevaluating their own actions. This is where the Stoic mindset shines, teaching us the value of patience and restraint. When you resist the urge to fill every silence, you invite others to confront the space you've left behind. This concept is particularly powerful in relationships. Whether romantic, familial, or professional, being constantly available diminishes your perceived worth. The unpredictability created by your absence reignites curiosity and desire. In modern life, where we are constantly bombarded by social media and instant communication, the decision to step back and stay silent can be transformative. It's not about playing games or manipulation. It's about understanding human psychology and leveraging the wisdom of Stoicism. What is Stoicism, if not the practice of mastering oneself and responding with deliberate intention rather than impulse? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By stepping back, you demonstrate control over your own actions, projecting confidence and self-worth. This Stoic life lesson teaches us to value our presence by carefully controlling its accessibility. In a world where everyone seeks validation through constant visibility, the man who embraces absence exudes strength and commands respect. So, next time you're tempted to over-explain or be perpetually available, remember, silence speaks volumes and absence builds value. When you step back, you create a vacuum that others will be compelled to fill, ultimately drawing them closer to you. Master this balance, and you'll not only cultivate stronger relationships, but also reinforce your own Stoic mindset, standing firm in the knowledge that sometimes the loudest message is delivered in silence. 2. Why silence is a power move. Silence, when wielded wisely, is a force more powerful than words. In a world where everyone feels compelled to share every thought, every emotion, every fleeting moment, choosing silence sets you apart. It's not about withdrawing or shutting people out. It's about mastering the art of restraint. You see, silence isn't empty. It's full of tension, and tension is what keeps people hooked. Imagine this. When you stop explaining yourself, when you don't rush to fill every pause in conversation, you create a space where others lean in. They start analyzing, guessing, replaying every word you've ever said. Suddenly, your silence speaks louder than their noise. This is a principle high-value men and those who follow the path of Stoic understand deeply. It's about self-respect and setting boundaries that demand respect from others. Think of yourself as a fortress. A fortress isn't easily accessible, and that's precisely what makes it valuable. Its thick walls and guarded gates aren't there to keep everyone out, but to control who gets in. Now, picture that same fortress with a revolving door. The mystique fades, the strength diminishes. The lesson: don't be an open book to just anyone. Your time, energy, and thoughts are precious commodities, and not everyone deserves unlimited access. When you're always available, constantly explaining or justifying your actions, you dilute your worth. Instead, be selective. When someone notices your absence or comments on your change in availability, a simple, confident response like, "I'm focusing on some important things right now," is all they need. No explanations, no apologies. Let me share a quick story. There was once a colleague, let's call him Alex, who was the go-to guy in the office. He was always willing to explain his work, stay late, and cover for others. But one day, Alex decided to stop over-explaining. He began focusing on his priorities and stayed silent about his moves. At first, people were confused. Some were even frustrated. But over time, they started to value his presence more. They respected his time, sought his input more thoughtfully, and most importantly, they stopped taking him for granted. Alex didn't have to argue or demand respect. His silence and focus did it for him. His silence became his strength, and his quiet confidence reshaped how others saw him. So ask yourself, are you guarding your energy like a fortress, or are you leaving the door wide open? Are you letting silence work in your favor, or are you giving away your power with constant explanations? The key takeaway here is simple. Silence, when intentional, commands attention and respect. By stepping back and staying silent, you shift the dynamic. You're not just reacting to life, you're setting the terms. High-value men know this. Sometimes the strongest move is no move at all. Let your silence speak and watch how the world starts to lean in. Affirm to yourself, "My silence is my strength. I am in control of my energy and worth." Remind yourself of this every time you feel the urge to explain or justify. Let your quiet confidence reshape the world around you. 3. Stoicism, the art of inner strength. Shifting the power dynamic in any relationship is an art, not a battle. Imagine for a moment how magnets operate. When one magnet aggressively chases the other, it only drives the other away. But if you step back and remain firm, that same magnet is naturally drawn toward you, almost as if pulled by an invisible force. The essence of true attraction lies not in relentless pursuit, but in calm, deliberate restraint. This isn't about playing mind games. It's about recognizing your worth and standing firm in it. When you stop pleading for attention or chasing validation, something remarkable happens. You become the magnet, effortlessly drawing others toward you. Isn't it fascinating how the less you try to control others, the more control you gain over the energy they bring into your life? Now, let's talk about Stoicism today and its role in mastering this balance. The ancient Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus, taught us one timeless truth. Focus on what you can control and release what you cannot. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, said Marcus Aurelius. How often do you let someone's indifference or games rob you of your peace? Every time you say yes to things that drain your spirit, you're indirectly saying no to your happiness and growth. Stoic happiness doesn't come from external validation, but from inner tranquility. It's about holding your ground and choosing your peace over unnecessary drama. Can you think of moments where saying no could have preserved your energy? Imagine this. Every time you resist the urge to react, every time you hold back from seeking approval, you're practicing the art of stoic happiness. It's not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about being in control of your emotional reserves. Why give power to those who don't see your value? Instead, redirect that power inward. You'll soon find that silence and self-possession are not weaknesses. They are your greatest tools for commanding respect and admiration. As the Stoics remind us, he who controls himself controls the world. So, ask yourself, what areas of your life could benefit from stepping back and holding your peace? How might your relationships transform if you embraced the principles of Stoicism today? When you practice this inner strength, you'll notice a shift, not just in how others respond to you, but in how you see yourself. That, my friend, is the real power. The quiet confidence that makes people gravitate toward you, not out of pity or obligation, but out of genuine admiration and desire. Drop a comment saying, "I am in control," to show your commitment to mastering the art of stoic balance. Stay tuned. Your transformation has only just begun. 4. A new era of self-respect. In a world where noise and constant validation have become the norm, there's immense power in stepping back and embracing silence. When you withdraw your energy from those who take it for granted, you're not just reclaiming control, you're redefining your self-worth. As Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This realization marks the dawn of a new era in your life, one where self-respect becomes your guiding principle. Stoic life lessons teach us that true peace stems not from the approval of others, but from the mastery of our inner world. When you adopt a Stoic mindset, you begin to see that your value was never anchored in someone else's temporary attention or approval. This is the essence of what is Stoicism, finding strength in self-possession, remaining unmoved by external noise, and understanding that your worth is inherent. As you step back and stay silent, something profound happens. You detach from the chaos of seeking external validation. This detachment isn't about withdrawing out of bitterness. It's a strategic move to recalibrate your focus. You start to find solace in the quiet confidence of knowing that you don't need to chase anyone to prove your worth. In modern life, where social media and instant messaging often amplify insecurities, adopting this stoic life lesson allows you to break free from the cycle of anxiety over whether someone calls, texts, or likes your post. Instead, you cultivate an unshakable calm, rooted in the understanding that the right people, those who truly value and respect you, will gravitate toward your authentic self without you having to lift a finger. This journey of stepping back is not about manipulation. It's about prioritizing your mental well-being. The Stoic mindset teaches that silence is often the most eloquent response. It's a powerful message that says, I respect myself enough not to beg for attention or validation. As Epictetus wisely stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By staying silent, you shift the narrative. You're no longer playing into someone else's game. Instead, you're writing your own story. In doing so, you remind yourself and others that your presence is a privilege, not a given. The peace you gain from this self-respect is priceless, a calm that external circumstances can no longer disturb. Relating this to modern life, think about how often people feel pressured to respond immediately to messages or prove their worth through endless explanations. The Stoic mindset encourages you to resist this impulse. When you step back and stay silent, you create space for reflection, growth, and a deeper connection with yourself. This silence allows you to focus on what truly matters, your goals, passions, and personal development. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about realizing that you are already complete, and in this completeness, you'll find that people who align with your values naturally seek you out. This is the beauty of Stoic life lessons in action. A calm, confident approach to life that transforms relationships and elevates your sense of self-worth. By embracing these principles, you send a powerful message to the world. You know your value, and you won't compromise it for fleeting attention. The right people will respect you for it, and those who don't were never meant to stay. So, trust the process, hold your ground, and let your silence do the talking. In this new era of self-respect, you'll discover a freedom and fulfillment that only comes from living authentically and on your terms. Write this mantra in the comments and let it sink in. I am a fortress, not a doormat. I step back, I stay silent, I let them beg. Let this be your guiding principle as you embrace the power of silence and watch how the world responds. 5. Ditch the thirst. Play it cool. Have you ever noticed how the things you chase seem to run faster, slipping further out of reach? Like trying to catch smoke, the harder you grab, the more it escapes. This same principle applies to people. The more you thirst for their attention, the less they seem to care. It's a paradox. In your quest to win them over, you often end up pushing them away. You may believe your constant attention shows devotion, but from their perspective, it screams desperation. And let's be real, desperation is the fastest way to get overlooked. As the old saying goes, the less you reveal, the more they wonder. This isn't about playing games, but about understanding human nature. People crave what they must work for. Let's pause for a moment and think about this. When you're always the first to text, liking every post, or dropping everything to respond instantly, what message are you sending? Whether you realize it or not, you're communicating that their validation is crucial to your happiness. But why hand over your power so easily? Why allow someone else to determine your worth? High-value men, those who embrace the principles of Win Stoic, know better. They understand that self-respect is non-negotiable and that cool confidence speaks louder than words. Confidence says, "I'm valuable and I don't need your approval to validate that." It draws others in, making them wonder about you, think about you, even crave your presence. Picture this. A colleague of mine, Jason, once pursued a woman with unrelenting zeal. He showered her with compliments, always available at the drop of a hat, constantly texting to check in. She grew distant, even irritated. Frustrated, Jason came to me for advice. I told him, "Step back, stay silent, focus on your goals and passions." At first he was skeptical, but he gave it a try. He stopped chasing and began working on himself, investing time in his hobbies and excelling at work. Suddenly, she started reaching out, curious about his change. The silence had created a mystery she couldn't resist. The dynamic shifted entirely. He was no longer chasing, she was. Now ask yourself, are you holding on to your value, or are you giving it away? Are you playing it cool, or are you trying too hard to impress? When you step back, you allow space for others to miss you, to question your absence, and to realize your worth. Silence, when used wisely, is a powerful tool. It forces them to confront the void left in your absence, sparking curiosity and desire. You're no longer the pursuer, you're the prize. Here's the takeaway. Confidence isn't loud, it's quiet, steady, and unshakable. High-value men understand that their time and attention are precious commodities, not to be squandered on those who don't appreciate them. So, next time you feel the urge to overextend, remember this. Step back, stay silent, and let them come to you. True power lies in knowing your worth and letting others discover it on their own terms. Are you ready to embrace the art of playing it cool? Six, master your minutes. Make them earn your time. Time is our most valuable resource, yet it's often squandered on things and people that don't contribute to our growth or happiness. As Seneca wisely said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Starting today, imagine your time as a treasure chest, each minute a gem of immeasurable worth. You wouldn't hand over your finest jewels to just anyone, so why give away your time so freely? When others have to earn your minutes, they begin to see your true value. This isn't about arrogance, it's about self-respect and clarity. How often have you caught yourself waiting for a text, canceling your plans, or endlessly accommodating someone who barely acknowledges your efforts? Every time you do, you chip away at your peace and progress. But here's the good news. Today, you can change that narrative. Embrace the power of saying no, not out of spite, but as a declaration of your worth. In doing so, you're practicing stoic happiness, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what drains your energy. Time is finite, and how you spend it reflects your priorities. Picture this. When you stop being constantly available, people begin to notice the void. Suddenly, your silence speaks volumes. They'll start seeking your presence, valuing your input, and appreciating your efforts. Why? Because scarcity creates value. Just like in Stoicism today, where simplicity and control lead to a balanced life, guarding your time fosters a sense of inner peace and purpose. Ask yourself, who deserves your time? Are you investing in relationships and activities that align with your values, or are you sacrificing your peace for fleeting approval? By reclaiming your minutes, you become the architect of a life filled with purpose and meaningful connections. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life, Steve Jobs once said. Remember, your time is yours to command. Use it wisely and watch as others begin to cherish the moments you choose to share with them. What steps will you take today to protect your most precious resource? 7. Raise the bar. Don't settle for crumbs. Here's a stark reality. You attract what you tolerate. In a world where mediocrity often becomes the norm, too many men accept half-hearted efforts and superficial relationships, hoping things will somehow improve. But as Epictetus said, you become what you give your attention to. When you constantly accept the bare minimum, you condition others to see your worth as negotiable. Imagine yourself at a grand banquet. Would you be content with scraps while everyone else indulges in abundance? Of course not. Life operates the same way. If you allow others to treat you with disregard, you're not only devaluing your own standards, but also teaching them that it's okay to offer less than what you deserve. This isn't about arrogance or entitlement. It's about recognizing your value and refusing to settle for anything less than what aligns with your worth. When we apply a Stoic mindset, we realize that raising our standards is a powerful form of self-respect, not selfishness. This approach aligns with what is Stoicism at its core, the practice of mastering one's emotions and actions in the face of life's challenges. Stoicism teaches us that external validation is fleeting, but internal discipline builds lasting strength. If you've been tolerating late-night texts that feel like afterthoughts, last-minute plans that reek of convenience, or lukewarm commitment, it's time to draw the line. Setting boundaries not only preserves your energy, but also filters out those unwilling to rise to the occasion. In modern life, this could mean choosing quality over quantity in your relationships, prioritizing your own growth, and stepping back to observe who truly values your presence. As Marcus Aurelius once reflected, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In the same vein, your life will reflect the standards you set. Let your new mantra be, I raise the bar and I accept nothing less. By doing so, you cultivate a Stoic life where every decision aligns with your purpose. Demand more, not because it's easy, but because you understand that anything worth having requires unwavering commitment to excellence. 8. Seal your lips. No explanations given. In a world where everyone seems to have an opinion about your life, learning to step back and stay silent is a superpower. Silence isn't just the absence of words, it's a powerful statement of control and self-respect. When you choose silence, especially in moments when others demand explanations, you're saying, I own my choices and I don't need validation. Think about it. Every time you rush to explain why you missed a call or weren't as available, you're handing over a piece of your power. High-value men understand this deeply. They know that explanations often dilute their authority. Instead of justifying their actions, they remain calm, composed and mysterious, letting their silence do the talking. Take a moment to recall a scenario where a friend or colleague kept questioning your priorities. Maybe they were used to you always being available, and when you finally started setting boundaries, they pushed back. Instead of engaging in a drawn-out justification, imagine saying, I've been busy, and leaving it at that. What happens next? The silence lingers, forcing them to reflect on their own behavior. More often than not, they'll come to respect your boundaries because they see you as someone who values their time and energy. This simple act of not over-explaining shifts the dynamic in your favor, making you appear more confident and self-assured. Let's look at the modern workplace. Say you've been skipping after-hours work calls to focus on personal growth or health. When your boss asks why you're unavailable, instead of launching into a detailed explanation, you calmly state, I've been managing my priorities. This kind of response not only shows that you're in control, but also subtly signals that your time is valuable, making them think twice before overstepping your boundaries again. Here's a question for you. How often do you find yourself justifying your decisions to others? Why do you feel the need to explain when your actions speak for themselves? Remember, high-value men and women who win stoic battles in life don't seek approval. They command respect through their unwavering confidence. The key takeaway: silence, when used intentionally, is a tool for establishing boundaries and enhancing your self-worth. The less you explain, the more people respect you. So next time someone demands an explanation, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my energy, or is my silence the louder, stronger answer? 9. Glow up. Keep them wondering. Have you ever paused and asked yourself, when was the last time I invested in myself, not to impress anyone, but simply to nurture my own growth and happiness? In the rush of life, it's easy to lose sight of this, but let me tell you, the most powerful transformation you can ever undergo is the one done in silence, away from the eyes of those who doubted you. Imagine this: you focus on your goals, work on your mental and physical well-being, and embrace stoic happiness, the kind that isn't dependent on external validation. Suddenly, the people who once overlooked you are left speechless, wondering how they missed the radiance of your glow-up. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In Stoicism today, this wisdom holds true. By mastering your thoughts and actions, you create a life where external opinions no longer dictate your worth. Here's the beauty of this journey. Your silence becomes your power. You stop explaining, stop seeking approval, and instead, let your growth speak volumes. This isn't about revenge or proving anyone wrong. It's about becoming so fulfilled and at peace with yourself that their opinions become irrelevant. What's holding you back from starting this journey today? Ask yourself this: if you don't invest in your growth now, who will? The truth is, when you focus on yourself, when you rise above distractions and stay committed to your vision, others will naturally gravitate toward your energy. They'll seek your light, but by then, you'll be shining for yourself, not for them. Remember, your glow-up is yours alone. Declare it boldly: I glow up for me. Write it down, say it aloud, and let it guide you every step of the way. Now, are you ready to step back, stay silent, and let your transformation do the talking? 10. Learn to say no and mean it. In a world that constantly demands your time and energy, mastering the art of saying no is not just a skill, it's a lifeline. Saying no isn't about being confrontational or cold. It's about preserving your peace and safeguarding your priorities. Each time you agree to something that drains you or deviates from your goals, you sacrifice a piece of your own well-being. This is where Stoic life lessons come into play, reminding us of the importance of setting firm boundaries. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Boundaries are your shield, not a sword. They are the framework that keeps your life aligned with your values. Those who genuinely respect you will honor your boundaries without resistance, but those who push, manipulate, or guilt-trip you, they expose their lack of respect for your autonomy. In modern life, where distractions are endless and obligations seem to pile up, understanding what is Stoicism and applying its principles can be transformative. A Stoic mindset teaches us that peace comes from within, and part of maintaining that peace is learning to say no unapologetically. You don't owe anyone constant access to your energy or time. Every no to unnecessary obligations is a powerful yes to your growth, health, and happiness. Let this mantra be your guide. I say no, and I mean it. Repeat it, live by it, and feel the weight of unwarranted expectations lift. Declare it in the comments and remind yourself daily that boundaries are a form of self-respect. Adopting this mindset will empower you to prioritize what truly matters, leading to a life of purpose and inner calm. 11. Stay unbothered. Be emotionally untouchable. Here's the truth. People will try to manipulate your emotions. They'll press your buttons, provoke you, and then sit back to see how you react. Why? Because your reaction gives them control, and control is power. But here's where you win. When you master emotional independence, you reclaim that power. Emotional independence doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means selectively investing your energy in things and people that truly matter. The less you react, the more enigmatic and powerful you become. Think about it. When someone throws shade or stirs up drama and you respond with silence, who really wins? They're left in confusion and you're standing tall, unshaken. This isn't just a trick. It's a life skill every high-value man must cultivate. Picture this. In a heated work meeting, while others lose their cool, you remain composed, offering solutions instead of complaints. Everyone takes notice. Your calm isn't just a defense, it's a magnet for respect and influence. In relationships, the same rule applies. When you pull back and maintain your stoic strength, it creates intrigue, not insecurity. Ever heard the saying, silence speaks louder than words? It's true. Your silence forces others to reflect, to question, and ultimately to respect your boundaries. Ask yourself, how often have your reactions given away more than you intended? What if next time you chose to stay silent, to step back? What if you let your calmness do the talking? Embrace this mantra. I am in control. Write it down, internalize it, and let it guide your actions. Remember, emotional mastery isn't just about winning in the moment, it's about winning in life. Stay calm, stay focused, and let them come to you. Win stoic. 12. Be the prize. Let them come to you. Be the prize and let them come to you. Imagine a world where you no longer exhaust yourself chasing after people who fail to see your true worth. The secret lies in stepping back, staying silent, and letting your actions speak louder than words. When you stop running, you don't lose the game, you change it. Suddenly, the balance of power shifts in your favor. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By embracing this mindset, you cultivate an aura of mystery and confidence that others find irresistible. In today's world of constant noise, Stoicism teaches us that happiness isn't found in seeking external validation, but in mastering ourselves. People are naturally drawn to those who carry themselves with quiet assurance and unshakable self-respect. Think about it. Why chase someone else's approval when your own validation is more powerful? Ask yourself, are you living as the prize, or are you letting others dictate your value? When you focus on building your inner strength and living with purpose, you become a magnet for opportunities and relationships that align with your true self. This principle applies not just in personal connections, but in every area of life. In the realm of Stoicism today, the mantra, "I attract, I don't chase," is a powerful reminder to stay grounded in your worth. The things and people meant for you will naturally gravitate toward your energy. So the next time you're tempted to seek validation or chase after someone's attention, pause and reflect. How would your life change if you trusted that everything you deserve is already on its way? As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This strength is the foundation of Stoic happiness, a calm assurance that nothing can shake your peace. Let this thought guide you. By stepping back and staying silent, you're not giving up, you're taking control. What kind of energy do you want to put out into the world? The answer to this question could transform the way others see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. 13. Final thoughts. Step into your power. Silence is a source of great strength, said Lao Tzu, and this wisdom rings true in the modern pursuit of emotional independence and power. Stepping back and staying silent is not about manipulation or playing mind games. It's about recognizing your worth and valuing your peace above all. In a world that often demands constant validation, the Stoic life lessons teach us that silence and restraint are forms of control. When you master the art of detachment, you naturally command respect. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in self-discipline and resilience, reminds us that the only thing within our control is our mindset. This is the essence of what is Stoicism, not reacting to every stimulus, but responding with purpose and clarity. Life often tempts us to seek immediate gratification through confrontation or endless explanations, but a Stoic mindset understands the power of delayed gratification. By stepping back, you create a space where others are compelled to reflect on your value and their actions. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In modern relationships, whether personal or professional, this principle works wonders. When you stop chasing and start focusing inward, people begin to chase you. It's not magic, it's the natural pull of a centered and confident individual. Your journey is not about retreating in fear, but about strategically advancing your position. Each quiet moment is a statement of self-respect, each step back a leap forward in personal growth. Together, we can cultivate a life of integrity, power, and peace, transforming the way we interact with the world. Remember, your silence speaks volumes, and your Stoic mindset sets you apart in a society addicted to noise. If this resonates, be sure to like, subscribe, and join our growing community. Let's elevate together, one deliberate action at a time. Thank you for watching today's video on Win Stoic. In life, there's immense power in knowing when to step back and stay silent. It's a strategy rooted in both Stoicism and dark psychology, teaching us that sometimes the best way to command respect and attention is by doing less and allowing others to reflect on our absence. When you stop chasing and start focusing on yourself, people begin to realize your worth, and in time, they will seek you out, often more desperately than you could imagine. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to like, share it with someone who might need this message, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to guide you on your journey of self-improvement and growth. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got plenty more Stoic life lessons and transformative strategies coming your way. Thank you for being a part of the Win Stoic community. Stay focused, stay resilient, and until next time, remember, true power lies in control over yourself. See you in the next video. Say this one word to make women chase you. High-value men must know Stoic life lessons. It's simple, yet incredibly powerful, and it's something most men overlook. This word isn't just about getting her attention, it's about commanding respect and showcasing your high value as a man. As the Stoics would say, master your words, master your life. This one word, when used correctly, can make her see you in a whole new light. Today on Win Stoic, we're diving deep into this game-changing concept that every high-value man must know. Stay tuned, because this could be the key to transforming your interactions and making women see you as the prize. 1. Going against the grain. In a world where most men are unsure how to captivate a woman's attention, one simple word can change everything. Imagine the power of knowing exactly what to say to make a woman chase you. This isn't about tricks or gimmicks. It's about understanding the art of conversation and the principles of Stoicism. Let's dive into a story that perfectly illustrates this concept and uncover the secrets behind the power of just one word. Going against the grain often stirs controversy, especially in the realm of dating and relationships. Some of you might find what we're about to discuss a bit unconventional, but I invite you to stay open-minded. Allow me to set the stage with a story that took place about 5 years ago in the vibrant city of Belgrade, Serbia. We were gearing up for a boot camp to teach men how to navigate the complex waters of dating. As we were walking through the streets, we noticed a stunning woman who looked like she had stepped right out of a fashion magazine. Naturally, we were intrigued and decided to approach her. Our conversation was smooth. She seemed interested and engaged. However, just as we thought we were making headway, she suddenly said, "I have to go." Now, most men would have backed off at this point, but we decided to take a different approach. "No," we said with a calm but assertive tone. "What you have to do is tell us one cool thing about yourself, then you can go." It was a bold move, especially when she was clearly in a hurry. But here's the fascinating part. Instead of walking away, her eyes lit up with a mix of shock and intrigue. She wasn't used to hearing something like that. This was new territory for her. Why did this work? It wasn't because we forced her to stay. It was because we subtly shifted the power dynamics of the conversation. We tapped into her curiosity and made her pause. In the world of Stoicism, this is a powerful lesson, one of maintaining composure and confidence, even in situations where the outcome is uncertain. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." We didn't react with fear or hesitation. Instead, we responded with calm assertiveness, which intrigued her. In modern life, this lesson is invaluable. Whether you're negotiating a business deal or trying to build a meaningful relationship, staying calm and composed can make all the difference. It's about understanding the balance between being assertive without being aggressive, confident without being overbearing. This approach is not just about dating, it's a Stoic principle that applies to all areas of life. When we asked her to share something cool about herself, we gave her a choice, an opportunity to express herself rather than just comply. This is where many men go wrong. They either retreat or become overly assertive. But the Stoic mindset, which focuses on self-control and understanding one's emotions, teaches us to find the middle ground. By doing so, we not only kept her engaged, but also piqued her interest. She wasn't just hearing the usual, "Can I get your number?" line. She was being asked to reveal something unique about herself. This one word, "no," followed by a thoughtful request, broke her expectations and created a memorable interaction. Think about how you can apply this to your own life. Whether in business, friendships, or romantic relationships, it's not always about going with the flow. Sometimes going against the grain is what gets you noticed. This doesn't mean being reckless or confrontational. Instead, it's about understanding when to challenge the status quo and when to maintain your composure. For high-value men, this is crucial. It's about knowing when to step back and when to lean in, all while staying true to your principles. By embodying stoic happiness and practicing these principles today, you can transform the way you interact with others, leading to more meaningful and fulfilling connections. As we continued our conversation with her, she started sharing stories and opening up more than we expected. This wasn't a trick or a game. It was a genuine exchange where both parties were intrigued and invested. The same applies to life. When you approach situations with curiosity and confidence, you create opportunities for deeper connections and understanding. Stoicism today isn't just about enduring hardships silently. It's about engaging with life proactively, making decisions that reflect your values, and challenging norms that don't serve you. This approach not only makes you more attractive to others, but also aligns you with your true self. So, the next time you find yourself in a similar situation, remember this story and the Stoic lessons it embodies. Don't be afraid to go against the grain when it feels right. Challenge yourself and those around you to engage in more meaningful, thought-provoking interactions. It's not just about saying the right words. It's about embodying the right mindset. After all, true attraction starts from within, reflecting the calm, confident and assertive nature that defines a high-value man. Will you apply these Stoic principles to make your next interaction more impactful? If so, please comment yes. I would love it if you said yes. 2. The value of setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is crucial if you want to stand out and be respected as a high-value man. The truth is, the most attractive women are often surrounded by men who are eager to do anything to win their favor. These women are accustomed to having men throw themselves at their feet, offering everything without expecting anything in return. For example, imagine living in a place like Las Vegas, where we once dated an exceptionally attractive cocktail waitress. She had the privilege of getting into the most exclusive clubs without paying a dime, enjoying bottle service at lavish tables that cost $10,000, and dining at the finest restaurants without ever picking up the check. Her beauty alone was enough to receive invitations to luxurious vacations, all without any effort on her part. When women like her receive everything effortlessly, they start to expect it as a norm. It becomes part of their everyday experience, and they no longer value it in the same way. This doesn't mean they aren't grateful. Rather, it means they don't place much value on the men who give them everything freely without making them earn it. The lack of challenge makes these men less appealing. Think about it. If you were handed a treasure without any effort, would it hold the same value to you as something you worked hard to obtain? The same principle applies here. Attractive women rarely have to put in any effort to get a man's attention. Men naturally flock to them because of their stunning looks, showering them with admiration and often placing them on a pedestal. These women become accustomed to receiving an overflow of attention without needing to do anything in return. They see a parade of men demonstrating too much interest, too quickly, which often makes these men appear desperate or unworthy of respect. However, high-value men understand the importance of setting boundaries and not giving everything away so easily. They realize that maintaining a certain level of mystery and self-respect is key to being genuinely attractive. Imagine a scenario where you're not immediately available or overly generous with your time and resources. Instead, you take a step back, allowing the woman to make an effort to get to know you. You're not doing this out of arrogance, but out of a deep understanding of your own worth. When you communicate your value through your actions, by not being too eager or readily accessible, you create a different dynamic. This dynamic makes you more intriguing and desirable because, unlike other men, you're not making her the center of your universe from the get-go. A high-value man knows that true attraction isn't about giving in to every whim or desire of a woman. It's about creating a balanced relationship where both parties invest equally. This balance is what keeps the relationship exciting and sustainable in the long run. Remember, when you set boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're also setting the stage for mutual respect and admiration. The question is, are you ready to shift your mindset to embody the Stoic principles of self-control and restraint? How will you apply the concept of setting boundaries in your interactions moving forward? To truly embody the Stoic mindset, understand that setting boundaries is not about playing games or manipulating someone. It's about respecting yourself enough to know your value. By doing so, you attract women who value you not for what you can give, but for who you are. This approach leads to healthier, more fulfilling relationships where both partners are seen as equals. So, remember this. As a high-value man, practicing restraint, setting boundaries, and maintaining your self-respect are the keys to unlocking deeper, more meaningful connections. Are you ready to become the man who commands respect and admiration without saying a word? Comment, "Yes, I'm ready," if you are ready. Embrace these principles, and you will not only attract the right people, but also build a life grounded in purpose and integrity. Three, stop putting women on a pedestal. To truly grasp the essence of a high-value man, one must understand the fundamental principle of Stoicism, self-mastery. In the realm of relationships, this translates into a unique mindset that does not place anyone, particularly women, on a pedestal. Many men, eager to gain a woman's affection, often fall into the trap of fawning over them, showering them with compliments, and desperately seeking their validation. But if you truly wish to embody the qualities of a high-value man, a man who exudes confidence and emotional control, you must learn to break free from this pattern. As Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." This principle applies equally to how we perceive relationships. When you place a woman on a pedestal, you're essentially judging her to be more valuable than yourself, creating an imbalance that inevitably leads to a loss of self-respect and personal power. Imagine you meet a woman who is accustomed to men constantly flattering her because of her beauty. She's used to being the center of attention, and most men she encounters reinforce this perception. But what happens when you choose a different path? Instead of becoming another man who falls at her feet, you show restraint, a quality deeply embedded in Stoic life lessons. You maintain your composure, showing that you are not easily swayed by her looks or her charm. This is not about playing hard to get, but rather about demonstrating a strong sense of self-worth and independence. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic philosopher, emphasized, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In applying this wisdom to your interactions, you communicate that your happiness and sense of self do not depend on her approval or interest. Think about it. What truly attracts people to each other? It's not desperation or neediness. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. When you stop putting women on a pedestal, you begin to interact with them on equal footing. This approach not only makes you more appealing, but also encourages mutual respect. Women are drawn to men who respect themselves, who have their own lives, passions and ambitions, and who aren't afraid to challenge the status quo. By embodying these traits, you project a stoic mindset that is both intriguing and attractive. But how do you balance this without coming across as indifferent or arrogant? The key is to be genuinely interested in her as a person, not just in the idea of her. Now, let's consider a different perspective. Why do some men feel the need to elevate women to such a high status? Is it because they seek validation or approval? Or perhaps they believe that by doing so, they are fulfilling a romantic ideal perpetuated by society and media? Understanding the why behind these actions is crucial in unraveling the habits that do not serve you. Stoicism teaches us to question our motivations and examine whether our actions align with our values. Are you acting out of fear of rejection, or are you genuinely expressing your feelings in a balanced and mature way? By reflecting on these questions, you can begin to shift your mindset from one of neediness to one of abundance and confidence. When you approach relationships with the understanding that your value does not diminish in the presence of another, you start to embody the true spirit of Stoic philosophy. What is Stoicism if not a guide to navigating life's challenges, including those in our personal lives, with grace and resilience? As Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Freedom in this context means the freedom from the chains of societal expectations and the courage to be your authentic self. It means engaging with others from a place of strength rather than insecurity. By embracing this philosophy, you empower yourself to be a more attractive and fulfilled individual, capable of forming deeper and more meaningful connections. This shift in mindset requires you to focus on building your own value rather than constantly seeking external validation. How can you grow into a man who is not only desirable but also fulfilled and self-sufficient? The answer lies in dedicating time to self-improvement, cultivating inner peace, and practicing emotional intelligence. Remember, women are not looking for a savior. They are looking for someone who complements their lives without needing to complete them. In this sense, a high-value man understands the importance of balance both within himself and in his relationships. He does not need to prove his worth because he already knows it. So, I ask you this. Are you ready to challenge the norms and redefine how you approach relationships? Are you willing to embrace Stoic life lessons and become the high-value man who commands respect, not by demanding it, but by embodying it? Your journey begins with a single step, shifting your perspective from one of scarcity to one of abundance, from neediness to self-assuredness. Remember, the greatest journey is the journey within. As you continue on this path, keep asking yourself, am I living true to my values? Am I engaging with others from a place of strength and confidence? These reflections will guide you toward a more fulfilling and empowered life, both in your relationships and beyond. Before we delve deeper into more Stoic life lessons, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you never miss an opportunity to grow and learn. Your journey to becoming a high-value man starts now. Are you ready to take the next step? Comment, "High-value man ready," if you are ready. Let's move on to the next part. Four, applying Stoic principles. Do you know the one word that can shift the dynamic, making her chase you instead of the other way around? It's a simple word, yet it carries the weight of centuries of wisdom from the Stoics, transforming your presence into one of power and purpose. Let's dive deep into this one word that high-value men must master today. Understanding and applying Stoic principles can be a game changer in both life and relationships. By now, you might have guessed the powerful word that can set you apart from all those men willing to bend over backward for just a sliver of attention from a woman. That word is no. Yes, you heard it right. Saying no is not just about refusal. It's about asserting your boundaries, knowing your worth, and respecting your mission. Imagine the intrigue that comes with a man who isn't swayed by a beautiful woman, who's accustomed to everything being handed to her on a silver platter. Such a man stands out because he shows he values himself and his goals above fleeting desires. Men who lose themselves in the pursuit of pleasing others, sacrificing their own needs, desires, passions, and life goals, often find themselves disrespected and taken for granted. Let's take a common example. Your goal is to write a novel. Every night, you retreat to your basement, your sanctuary, to work in peace. But your wife repeatedly interrupts, asking for help with household chores or seeking your attention and affection. It's easy to be pulled away, especially when she asks for something as intimate and compelling as sex. However, if you continually set aside your writing to cater to her every request, you risk losing more than just time. You lose respect. Your internal voice may even whisper, "Perhaps I should just make her my focus, my passion," but beware, this is the path to losing her respect and attraction. She wants to see a man who stands firm in his purpose, not one who becomes overly accommodating at the expense of his dreams. What's paramount is never to place a woman above your mission or purpose in life. As David Dada eloquently stated in The Way of the Superior Man, if a man places his relationship above his highest purpose, he weakens himself, betrays the universe, and ultimately cheats the woman out of a relationship with a truly authentic man, one who can give her his undivided presence because he is first committed to his path. Even when a woman says she wants to be the center of your universe, deep down, she respects a man who has a mission, a drive, something greater than both of you. This is what creates the magnetic pull, the desire to be a part of a man's journey, not the entirety of it. 5. The restricted requests technique. In the game of attraction, one of the most intriguing techniques high-value men can use is what I call the restricted requests strategy. You see, women, especially those who value authenticity and strength, often test the men they are interested in. They might challenge you, push your boundaries, or make requests that seem unreasonable at first glance. This isn't because they genuinely want to derail you from your path. Rather, they are seeking to understand whether you possess the strength and conviction of a true leader, someone who stands firm in his beliefs and knows when to say no. It's about them wanting to feel the presence of a man who can say no when necessary, who isn't afraid to set boundaries and assert his stance, even if it means risking a momentary displeasure. Remember, this isn't about denying every request or turning it into a game of manipulation. The key here, just like in Stoic philosophy, is balance, a concept deeply rooted in what is Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of maintaining your internal stability and strength, regardless of external pressures. Applying this restricted requests technique in real life is about understanding when to say no and when to say yes, genuinely. It's about being sincere and straightforward, showing that you are a person of substance, not just playing a role to please someone. For instance, imagine you're in a situation where a woman makes a request that doesn't align with your values or plans. Instead of immediately acquiescing just to keep the peace or avoid conflict, You assertively, yet respectfully, decline. You might think this could backfire or make her lose interest. But quite the opposite is true. By standing your ground, you demonstrate that you are not easily swayed or manipulated, that you are a man who knows his worth and isn't afraid to uphold his principles. Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, advised, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a reminder that your reactions, your ability to stay grounded and composed, reflect your inner strength, a trait that naturally attracts others to you. Consider a real-life example where you meet a woman and within minutes of interaction, she makes a playful yet bold request, something like asking you to buy her a drink or take her to a particular place. A high-value man doesn't immediately jump to fulfill her desires. Instead, he might smile and politely say, "No, let's do something different." This immediate resistance can spark intrigue and admiration. It shows that you are not desperate for approval and that you don't conform to every whim just to be liked. The ability to challenge her and offer a different perspective or plan can make you stand out. It's a demonstration of self-confidence and self-control, both critical components of the Stoic life lessons that teach us to remain calm and focused, irrespective of the external pressures or expectations. Ask yourself, how often do you assert your boundaries in such situations, and how does it affect your relationships? Of course, this technique doesn't imply you become rigid or unyielding. There's a fine line between being assertive and being arrogant or dismissive. It's about knowing when to bend and when to stand firm. If you say no to every request, you risk appearing uncooperative or controlling, which is counterproductive. The idea is to be a challenge, not a barrier. A high-value man understands that saying no sometimes makes the moments when he says yes more meaningful and impactful. It creates a dynamic interplay of mystery and respect, where the woman sees you as a person of depth and integrity, someone who is worth pursuing, someone who embodies the Stoic wisdom of being in control of his actions and reactions. Let's reflect on an encounter in Serbia where we demonstrated this very principle. Within a minute of meeting a woman, we casually, yet firmly, said no to her request. Now, this doesn't mean this approach works universally. It's important to gauge the situation and the individual's level of interest. If the woman wasn't initially attracted, or if she perceived the no as a rejection rather than a playful challenge, she might have simply walked away. But the point isn't about crafting a guaranteed strategy for every interaction. It's about understanding the value of being a challenge and maintaining your own course, rather than trying to mold yourself into what you think will please someone else. This is where the Stoic mindset comes into play, teaching us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our choices, and our words. The real question to ponder is, are you willing to be yourself, to stand firm in your beliefs, even if it means not always being the most agreeable or accommodating person in the room? This is the essence of the Stoic life lessons. It's about self-mastery and the courage to live authentically, to be the man who isn't afraid to set boundaries and say no when it matters most. This courage, this self-assurance, is what makes high-value men so attractive. It's what makes them a force to be reckoned with, both in their personal and professional lives. So, ask yourself today, are you ready to embrace this mindset? Are you prepared to be the man who women chase, not because of manipulation or games, but because of genuine strength and integrity? As we've discussed today, mastering the art of communication is crucial for any high-value man, especially when it comes to attracting and keeping the right women in your life. saying that one strategic word not only makes women more intrigued, but also demonstrates your confidence and self-assuredness, a hallmark of a true Stoic. Remember, it's not just about what you say, but how you say it, with calmness and clarity, reflecting the strength of your character. If you found these insights helpful and want to continue your journey to becoming a high-value man, make sure to like this video and share it with others who might benefit from these Stoic life lessons. Don't forget to subscribe to Win Stoic for more tips on mastering yourself, building stronger relationships, and living a fulfilling life guided by Stoicism. And hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our new content that will help you grow and transform. Thank you for being a part of our community. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep striving to be the best version of yourself. Until next time, take care and stay stoic.